Welcome to the It's All Bullshit podcast. You are in the right space if you are desiring truth, to live in alignment, to live in your own sovereignty, and to literally connect in with messages and podcasts that are in that alignment as well. This podcast is going to expose it all. We do not hold back. We bring in all the concepts when it comes to the aspect of truth, and we call bullshit on all the things that are going on in that transparency in the world. So if you enjoy this kind of shit, welcome to the It's All Bullshit podcast, hosted by yours truly, Colleen Lindberg. Going on, beautiful people. Welcome back to episode 7 of the It's All Bullshit podcast. And I am right now freezing, actually. I'm like, I don't know why I didn't put sweatpants on in the space of stuff. I moved yesterday into a new apartment in the same apartment building that I've been in. And this apartment feels so aligned for me. It's like juicy as fuck. It like is expansive. Like there's only a wall that has like a cutout in it between the bedroom and the living room. It just feels like there's more room. It's technically the exact same amount of space that the other ones were in, but it just feels so different. And I've got a shit ton more windows, but it's fucking cold today here in the landscape of stuff. And I actually had this subject matter channeled through me earlier on this week, and I wrote notes about it already in my notepad so I wouldn't forget, because literally I came to today to record and I'm like, what the fuck was I supposed to talk about? I completely forgot, but I tapped back into the field and I want to tell you a story today. And I want to walk us through a process together of expansion, a process of enlightenment, a process of escalating, in the space of where we desire to be. And it's completely connected to my own personal life. And yeah, we're just going to share the shit today. How about that? So some of you know that I moved from the middle of the jungle in Costa Rica. It was a really connected place in the southern Pacific side of the country. And I lived in a mountain house up there. It's complete segregation. Yeah, I had neighbors and shit, but like when like 5:50 p.m. happened at night, it's like everything went black. It's like you could barely see lights. It was like so connected energetically to being in seclusion. Okay. And for the time I was there, so I was there for 8 months. It was exactly what I needed to have happen. It was exactly the energy that I needed to live within. It was exactly the space I needed to be within and the connection point of it. And even my whole journey in that region of Costa Rica was just so connected and expansive for me. I did the energetic work. I did a shit ton of shadow work. I became a human. Like, you think in North America, you know how to be a human. You don't know how to be a human until you move to a place like Costa Rica. And maybe you got edges on it, and maybe you've seen parts of it, and maybe, you don't buy into the mechanisms of some of the shit. But when you take yourself out of the instant gratification, the Uber Eats and Amazons, the completely rooted, energy of go, and you land in a place that has Tico time, and that when you go for dinner, like the first while I had to drop into the space, it's like, you might get your drink in 10 minutes, maybe. And maybe you'll eat within the first hour, maybe. And there's no rush in this country. And the humans that work in this country that are born there, when they do work, they stop working to communicate with you. So let's just say you ask someone a question, you have your gardener's over and you ask him a question, he will stop working and connect into your relationship to answer your questions, and then he'll get back to work. There isn't multitasking there. It's like a completely different way of living. And so when I was called to come to the city, I know why I'm here. I know it's for visibility. It's for getting back into things. It's for being seen. I've spent enough time in seclusion in the jungle, and not that I would never go back, but I can't go back. So that's the whole premise of this whole podcast, but it's like the time is done. The time is complete. And when I left, I wouldn't have told you that. So fast forward a couple weeks. So actually, let me give you some more context. I was casually dating a guy while I was there, and it was casual. I knew it would never amount to anything, other than what it was. Okay. I had no expectation on it. He's not my guy. I just knew, but he served a purpose in my world for a short period of time that we got to play together. It allowed me to take ownership of certain aspects of myself that I never let anyone else see. It allowed me to not make up anything about it and to be like reactive or like emotional and all the stuff that I was in my last long-term relationship. It allowed me to let him lead, even though most of the time he rebelled against that. And I was like, it's number one reason out of so many others, but this is one of the reasons that he's not my guy for sure. But he filled a void in my world for that period of time. We ended up having a falling out a few weeks before I was leaving, and he didn't know I was leaving. And he completely disrespected me. Okay, like completely. I was like, what the fuck is this drama? Like, what is this? Like, you're just like, it was just completely stupid. Like, he literally the day before, he had come by my place after he was done work, and he was headed home to his parents' house. And I was just like, his parents live an hour from where we are. And so we hugged and made out a bit and the things. And he's like, I'll be by tomorrow night. And usually we work out together in the evenings and like on 4 days a week that he's there in town and all the things. Like, it's like, it was super cash. Maybe I saw him 3 out of the 4 days. Sometimes I saw him 2 out of the 4 days. Sometimes I saw him 4 out of the 4 days, depending on the week. But when it got too much for me, I was like, this isn't this. No, I like cut some energy out. And so we had committed to seeing each other. And so I didn't hear from him that night, which was a little bit odd, but not totally odd. There's some times that he would just check out, and I honor that. Like, I'm like, I get the fucking space of time and all the things. And I didn't hear from him in the morning, and that was really odd. And so I sent him a message around, I think it was like 9:30. I was like, hey, just thinking about you. Hope you're having a great morning. How's work? I didn't hear from him. 12:30, I didn't hear from him. I sent him another message. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of getting a little bit worried about you. Is everything okay? And didn't hear from him. So it's a Thursday. He's usually at the gym. So I make sure to go to the gym around 6:30 because I know he'll be there, and he's there. And I said to him, I was like, are you okay? Because he drives a motorcycle. I'm like, fuck, what if he got into an accident? What if something fucking happened to him? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, why didn't you answer my messages? He's like, eh. And I was like, what? After all the fucking shit I've done for you, you're just gonna dismiss me this way, like just completely out of disrespect. And I was pissed. I stormed out, not in a way of dramatic for anyone else to see, but in my own energy, and I was fucking pissed. And I'm like, this is a complete disrespect. Like, I cannot believe you would even fucking do this. And then we didn't talk after that. I think I saw him once in between. It was a few weeks later. And then my ego decided to send him a message 2 weeks before I was leaving to say, hey, I'm leaving. Just wanted to let you know. Hopefully, I can say bye to you sometime at the gym before I leave. So I reconnected the energy. My ego did. Okay, I'm fucking claiming that. And I'm stepping up to the space and I'm not creating a distortion around it. I'm going to fucking claim it. My ego did that. And so now he's back in my world. Now he's like, I need to see you before you go and all these things. And all of a sudden now, like, we're back in our casual relationship. And we just, like, it would never work. He doesn't even have a passport. He doesn't want to travel. All he wants to do is like work, be a good, like, steward of the land, which is amazing, but not do anything else with his life. And I respect that. Like, everyone has their own laneway. So I already knew this wasn't going to be. So we spent the last few nights together before I left. I left on a Wednesday. He stayed over on the Monday, on the Tuesday. We obviously fucked around because, my ego's in charge now, apparently, with this fucking relationship. And then I moved to the city. And we were still in connection and still chatting and all the things. And so a few weeks later, I'm in the city. This is where I left. I was like, okay, I'll tell you the fucking details. I left off. And a couple of things. I was supposed to move to my new permanent place on the 17th, and it just ended up not happening. And I had a car rental in place for a week. All these things were transpiring, and it was just like I kept getting side swiped, and shit wasn't happening and landing in the space of this. And my girlfriend's in town. She stayed at my place the week before for the night, and she's like, "Come, stay with us for a couple days." And it would have been a cool trip to go back. It would have been a cool trip to go back, but I would have saw him. I would have went on the Friday night to the gym, and I would have purposely showed up and surprised him. He wouldn't have been able to come and stay with me or any of that shit, but my ego needed to be fucking flexed. And it was like I was getting smacked by God. And it was like God stepped into the space. It was like maybe Wednesday of the week. I was supposed to leave on the Friday because that was when I was supposed to move. And then I was going to go on the Sunday to Uvita and then stay until the Tuesday morning. But then I was like, well, if I'm not going to move, I'll still get the car. I'll come down on the Friday night. And then I was like, why the fuck are you doing this? It's $1,000 to get the car. You don't need to be spending money on a rental car right now when you're not fucking moving. Like, let's just put all that money towards next month and save it there and not have this thing. Like, why do you need to go to Uvita? Well, I want to go to the beach and I want to go to non-toxic. I want to go pick up a few things. I want to see, Rosa. I want to do all this shit. And I was like, God's like, you cannot go backwards any longer. And I paused for a second and I felt that and I went, holy fuck. I was reverting back into an old identity, into old patterns because my ego was fucking sore. My ego was whatever in the space of. My ego was like this. So I pulled it. And I moved the rental to next month when I'm actually moving to the space that I'm aligned to go to. I decided that Lily and I potentially, when I have this car rental, will go to another place in Costa Rica I haven't visited yet and go actually explore. Instead of going backwards, I'm going to go forwards into expansion. I've always wanted to go to Nasara, so I'm like, maybe I'll go for a weekend or a few days into Nasara. I can teach from anywhere. We'll land all the shit at the new place, unload it all, get it all set up, and then we'll take off on a road trip with this vehicle that I have for a few days and go step up in. That feels juicy. Going backwards into the landscape is not fucking juicy. Going back into old identities is not juicy. It's safe. It's playing it fucking safe. I desire to actually have a man in my world this year. I want to be in sacred union. I desire to be in partnership. I want that to happen. Why the fuck am I making decisions that are putting me backwards again into spaces that are not there? The second I connect back into the energy, now the cords are fucking there. So it's blocking the field. So I did a lot of work this weekend on clearing the energy, and he ended up backing out of our relationship anyways, like the early part of this week. Like he couldn't hold it. And I get it. I'm just like, and he became a dick again in the energy field. I'm like, why do I keep thinking that this is going to fucking change? It's not. And I'm super clear about what our relationship is, but why do I keep bringing this up in the fields of everything? I'm like, oh, fuck. It's like there's a wounding there. There's a space of an energy there. And it's just like, now I've got work to do. And if we bring this into the essence of this podcast, it's like we can keep being in our illusions and keep fucking going down old identities and old storylines and fucking diminishing ourselves. Or we can take a look at ourselves right now in the mirror and be like, where the fuck are you literally minimizing your own self and playing in mediocrity and make a decision now to fucking change? And that's on us. That's what we get to decide. But we have to decide that. And we have to step behind it. And we have to make decisions that are maneuvering. And yeah, do I wish I saw my girlfriend? Yeah, I do. But I'm going to go meet up with her tomorrow night when she gets to the airport because she might have stuff I need to take from her. Plus, I have her Tupperware and she has my driver's license. So I need to get that back. And it's like, here we are in this landscape. We get to make choices every single day that are either moving us forward or moving us backwards. And Spirit and God was like, that fucking day was like, you cannot go backwards. There is no way back. None. No more. So now, like, he disconnected me on WhatsApp and archived me and, like, didn't read the last message I sent him, which is his MO. And I just went, you know what? I'm taking my power back inside of this and my authority, and I'm archiving our chat. And I'm done. So now, even if he messages me in a few weeks, whenever he gets over his fucking shit and is like, I'm sorry, I'm an asshole, I can't even see his message of being an asshole. And I'm like, and I'm okay with that because I'm like, I don't want this in my life. Wow, I'm burping, which means I'm moving a lot of energy for myself or for you. I don't want this in my life. This isn't the relationship I desire. This isn't the life I want to live. I do not want to go back. I've been through some shit and I don't need to go back there. I'm moving forward. I'm in the space of that connection forward. That's where I desire to be. So now my actions and energy and all the shit going on in my field needs to be maneuvering forward, not back. So what does that mean for you? What is that landscape for you? How does this show up in the field for you? And it's like, let that land in your field and have this honest conversation with yourself today to be like, fuck, she's right. Yeah, I am. And God's right too. Because I didn't think of this at first. It was him. And I love you guys. And it's like we're in this potency together and we're in this landscape together. And we get to decide now how this shows up in the energetic field. We get to decide. Do you want to stay in the spaces that you're familiar with that feel good for your ego? Or are you ready to expand into the spaces that you're actually meant to lead in and meant to serve in and meant to move within? That's the calling forward. That's the spaces that we're in now. That's the evolution. And so I'm not going back. I don't think I'll ever tap back into Vita again. Now, one of my girlfriends is coming at the end of July, so that might be a little bit of a trickiness. Or I go back in the identity of who I truly am, and I don't go backwards. I just keep moving forward. That is also truth. So we'll see. We'll see how it lands. I can't make anything up about anything right now because I don't have all the answers. Here's what I know. Right now, in this moment of time, we're not going back. Okay. So what does that mean for you? I love you guys. I feel complete. I'll see you in the next episode. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode. And we just ask that if you feel called, share this out on social, send it to a friend, help us promote the podcast. The more hands this gets into, the more conversations we get to have in the truth. And for some of you that have been inquiring, Colleen Lindberg is a soul mission activator, shadow alchemist, and she's also a really badass business alignment strategist. So if you desire that kind of stuff in your world and you're like, shit, I want to have a conversation with her, come find her on Instagram, send her a DM, send me a DM, actually. I don't know why I'm talking in the third person. And let's get her done, man. This is all about discovering the truth within ourselves and owning our power as we move through the world. So I look forward to hearing you, seeing you, feeling you, doing all the juicy shit in the next episode together. And we'll see you then.